Hello.
Hi, Mahesh.
Hi, Rohit. Sorry. Actually, there is a red alert in Pune for due to heavy rainfall, so
Okay,
I had a power outage. My mobile
okay,
and everything got switched off.
okay, okay, okay,
It just came back, so I logged in.
okay, okay, no problem. Okay, I'll share the screen. Okay,
Yeah, yeah. Let's.
just let me know when you see the screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so just like user section, like it's in a general topic only. So how we create the users. Okay, under configuration, we have user section is where mostly the admins will work. Okay, and in most of the projects, there will not be any MDM admin. Okay, very few cases only we see MDM admin. So under this users, we'll create the users. Okay, simply click plus symbol. So enter the users detail. Like suppose I can add Mahesh. Okay, and the username Mahesh last name is by. Okay, see Mahesh B already it came and we'll provide any some email ID. Okay, maheshb@mail.com. Okay, and the database which we have to select from Shiva ORS, like we can provide. Okay, and the password it could be my like any, whichever it may be. Okay,
Mhm. Yeah.
Mahesh B. For actional authentication, like single sign-on authentication, those things like we use this. Okay, right now this is native user. We are creating native user. Native user is nothing but at the two level we are creating the user.
Okay.
Okay, click OK. Then user will be created. Mahesh. Okay, Mahesh user created. If you make him administrator, he will get the exceptional access. Otherwise, we have to provide tool access to this specific user. Okay, so here there are a couple of options are there. See here, change password, manage password policy. So there are some password policies are there, like what should be the minimum, what should be the maximum, and how like password expiry. All these things will be there. It's general only. Okay, we like there is
Okay.
nothing in there. Just
Yeah.
I'm giving information.
Yeah.
So here we can change the user information. Okay, these things,
Okay.
not the password. So in order to change the password, just directly will click here and it asks. Okay,
Okay.
change password. And here one button is there. Unlock user. Suppose if we enter multiple times wrong password, then
Mhm.
the user gets locked over here. Simply will click unlock that. The user will get unlocked and will change the password and provide details to the concerned user. Okay. And here and databases like which database. See Mahesh has been assigned to this database. Okay. So who are all the users are there, and global password policy, minimum password length and maximum password length, password expiry. Okay, all these things
Okay.
we have these things. Okay, this is the user section. Now if I log in with Mahesh, let's see what will happen. HP Mahesh B. Okay, it is asking the database regular only because we have assigned only Vamshi URS. That's why it is showing only Vamsi.
Okay.
Okay, if we mention as a administrator, then it shows all the database. Okay, I have logged in, but nothing. I cannot able to see anything because we haven't provided any workbenches.
Okay.
Okay? So for users, I can say like business users or data stewards will provide specified access only. Okay, they don't need all these things, right? So we don't provide admin admin. So the tool access will be present under this configuration workbench and connecting to the and my HP. So here take acquire log. So right now only workbenches is there, but nothing is there. Configuration, model, security, data steward, utilities. Okay. If I provide configuration and data steward section, okay. So I don't provide configuration. Let's remove this. Okay. Just only data steward access. Let's see if we log in with Mahesh. So I have add one more thing. Only data steward section I'm able to see. Now you got the point, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll go to the tool access and we'll provide all required details. Okay. So this is here we are providing tool access. Okay. Now we have to provide the object level access. Let's see how can we provide object level access. Okay. Then object level access can be provided under security access manager. So there are some roles are there. These are secure resources. I think I have shown you this. Whenever the object goes into private mode, take acquire lock. Okay. So here, if any base object will be in private mode, so this is in private mode. Okay. Let's take our entity. This is in secure mode. This is in secure mode. Let's make it. This is in private mode. Okay.
Okay.
So in order to make it secure, here we have this lock symbol is there. Okay. It will be into secure state. So every time any object should be in secure state. Otherwise, see, I am the user, Rohit. I have created this object and mention it as a um, private. Just second, just second. Okay. So I made it as a secure and then I will save. So in the real time, so whenever we migrate the objects, post migration, I have explained you right repository manager how to promote the changes. Post migration, okay, post migration, we will check that whether the objects are in private mode or secure mode. Okay. So I'm the user Rohit. I created objects. Okay. So I migrated to higher environment. In the higher environment, suppose that other user wants to access that objects. Okay. If the objects are in private mode, it throws an error, security permissions error. Okay.
Okay.
So how to make it secure mode. So like no need of going to every object and checking that. Okay. Whether the objects are in secure mode or private mode. Here we have the option filter resources. Okay. If I want to see only the private one, click OK. So these are the objects like it is showing. These are the objects it is showing private. Okay. I'll mark it as secure. Okay, secure. Okay, I'll make it secure and let's save it. So made it. I have made these objects a secure object. Means other users also can access these objects. Okay. We'll go to the permission section now. We'll see that thing also. Okay. Let's save it. These things we do regularly in the projects. Okay,
Okay.
whenever we promote changes, we'll always checks for this one. Okay, friend. Oh, it is taking a lot of time. And this is save secure resources. Let me check this. So I'll open one more window. Server is restarting, I think. That's why even the BDD is also not opening. Okay, it got saved, luckily. And then nothing are there. Okay, let's go to the roles section. Okay, so here we'll provide the permissions. First, we'll create the roles.
Okay.
Still there should be some roles, right? Sorry. Okay, it's loading, I think. We'll go to the roles section. So here we have some roles are there. Let's take acquire log. So here we have some roles are there, right?
Okay.
Right click, we can add role. So suppose if I want like data steward is there, right? Uh, data steward manager. Okay? Data steward manager. Okay. Null name was, I'll use this. So here I will provide some roles. Like I create some roles. Happens very slow. Yeah, for saving also taking lot of time. Okay, we got. Okay, one role we have created. Okay, in this role, what are all the resource privileges it is displaying? Okay, so how many objects are there? Those many objects information it displays over here. So if you drop down this one, so here how many objects are there? This many objects it is showing. Okay, so
Okay.
what we have to do? Suppose like if a user belongs to this data steward manager. he needs only the read only permissions, then we'll provide read. Or else, like if you want to read, create, update, delete, merge, execute permissions on this table, means he can create the data, he can read the data, he can update the data, he can delete the data, he can merge the data. Like this, we'll provide all the permissions, okay, required permissions for even all the functions, whatever it may be. Okay,
Okay.
and we'll save it. Okay, we'll save it, and then once we create this role, we will assign the users to this role. So users who belongs to this role, they'll get these exceptional permissions. Right log. Okay, here we got it. Add role. Admin role. Okay, we have saved this. Now what we will do? So we'll go to the users and group section. Here also we have created, and users and group section. So here, if you want, we can create groups. Okay, we can assign users to that group, and we can assign the group that particular role. Okay, so developer group, testing group, or there, right? So for those, like we can create different groups and we can assign. Okay, here we can assign users to particular database. Okay, take acquire log. Okay, we have acquired that. So here, which are all the databases they need. Okay, for Pumsio or else these many users are there, we can assign and assign users groups to role. So here we have only one admin role is there. Here click this pencil symbol. We can add Mahesh to this admin role.
Okay.
Okay. So these things we'll do generally. So whenever we create any user, we assign that user to specific role. Okay. These are the things about user section. Let's go to the IDD. Uh, I don't know what's happening. Like it should connect actually, but for IDD is throwing some error. Local host, you host DDD conflict. Actually, we have to get. Okay, I think it's connecting. I hope, yeah, it's connected. IDD. This is the IDD console. IDD is nothing but Informatica Data Director. Okay. Earlier, it used to call Business Data Director. Okay. So this MDM tool was designed by Cyperion. Okay. That Cyperion company acquired by Informatica. So we'll log in here. We will log in over here with the credentials. So what we will do is in IDD. So we have developed our objects, right? We have developed our objects. Now we want what, like IDD is a data governance tool. So the a data steward or business user can connect to IDD web interface, and they can either insert the data or delete the data, or they can update the data, whatever they can do. So for that, we have to build some user interface for data stewards. This building of user interface is nothing but like writing a Java code, nothing like that. Okay, it's just will based on top of this, whatever we have configured at the hub level, we use those components, and whichever the objects they need, columns they need for as the business requirements, we create one console, IDD console, UI console, and we'll provide those details to the data stewards. So like suppose a data steward XYZ needs, like, he is exclusively handles the data of a table, this one. Okay, or else this one, whichever it could be, like he's specialized in handling this data, suppose entity Bivo party M. Let's see how can we configure, like so every time, so no need of coming to the database, like, filing the queries, or else coming to the hub console looking at those things, right? So it doesn't matter to them, like they don't know this much knowledge also, they all they know is data. So we'll go to click add section. So suppose I wanted to create for relationship base object party M. Okay, or it could be anything, I think both are sufficient, I guess. Let me check the relationships. Address, okay. Address path component, let me check. So yeah, let's take party M only. I will tell you the required things, all the things. Okay, here I am going to create one application for data stewards, party M UI. Party M UI. Click OK. So we have created one application. So inside this application, we have to configure. So this is not validated and nothing happened. Okay. Once we configure inside this, we can provide the URL, this thing to the data stewards. Okay. They will connect to this URL and they can specifically access this one. So here we have edit button is there. Click edit. So here there are some options are there. Logical ORS. What is the ORS which we have object partium? This is Vamsi ORS, right? So we will connect to the Vamsi ORS. Like add symbol is there. Click add. It displays the available ORS. Select Vamsi ORS. And now what I'm creating, like party M. Party M. Here the names could be like depends upon the requirement. Okay, so suppose here in the party I'm maintaining the accounts of an organization, account org I can say. Okay, I want to see only the uh, accounts of organization, means only organization details. I'll click OK. Okay, click OK. Now we have uh, assigned one ORS, database ORS, where our tables are residing. Okay, so here application source system is there. So whenever we make changes through IDD, so so when we add any data or anything, like what type of like at the xref level, it shows the row ID system as sys0, right? So here we can select the facility to choose which source system we need. Okay, generally for manual operations we'll select admin only, otherwise like we can create IDD as a user source. Then whenever we make changes through IDD source system, it displays IDD as a row ID source system. Okay, and here hierarchies. Okay, right now for this party M, we haven't configured any hierarchies, but if you have hierarchies, we can select this one also. And then bind, like we have to bind this ORS. Okay. So now we have selected the ORS, but we have to select the tables, right? So we are going to bind that. So I'm binding this ORS, click OK. So now I have binded that ORS. Now what I will do, I'll select the subject area group. Subject area group is nothing but a root component. Root component is nothing but base object. So we'll click add subject area and we'll select the logical ORS which we have selected and the primary table. Table here I will select base object party M, okay, and the name here I'm selecting for that. I'm mentioning root party M and the display name. So here we have option search only. So if we use this specific application like the party MUI used only for read only search operations, then we click this search. Otherwise we don't need, no need of selecting that. Click OK. So we words cannot contain spaces. Okay, click OK. So now we have created the root component. Okay. So now what, like we have created the root component, right? Well, now we have to create the child one, child root component. So edit subject area group, or else like we can add subject area. So now we have defined the root component. Now we have to add the subject area. Add subject area. You're getting my point, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we have selected the primary table, that is the root partium. That's an subject area group. Now we are going to create subject area. So which are all the required things we need? Only those things we assigned. So it will ask for some package at the back end. Today it is taking a lot of time. Okay, see here. What I'm like earlier I told, right? I want to see only the account records of organization. So for that purpose, I'm going to create this one. Okay, result display package. So for read only we use display. For making any changes we'll use put. Okay. I'll select put package and if you want to see the xref records, we'll select this xref. And if you want to assign the task, like right now we haven't configured that BPM task, means business process active voice, business process management tool. That's why it is not displaying that. Okay. And here potential match link column. So we haven't configured that. That's why it is not displaying. And here, how many columns in the form view it has to display. Like, so columns is nothing but like not the columns of name or those things. Like it displays templates like one template, two template, and three templates. Like front end uh, those column views, like page. How many? If we open a page, how many columns we have to see? Not the table level columns. So if you consider this is as one page, this is one column, two column. Okay, one, two, three, like that. So we can define like four like within one template, like within we have to use entire section, then we can use this. Okay. And change column selection here. So how many columns we need, we can select. So here it displays which are all the columns we used in the put package. Those columns it will display over here. Okay. I'll use name. I don't need row ID object. Okay. I need only name. So row ID object is the backend thing. IDD automatically gets creates. Okay. Click OK. Now I have selected the columns, so I can make some edits here. So for the layout editions, anything. Okay. So right now, so here there is an edit layout section is there. If I click over here, so at the UI user interface level, how this columns should visible, here we can configure. We can configure only because we cannot see the UI because we don't have that license. Okay. So here how the column should be visible in the layout section. Okay. So it should be visible as a field or text area. Okay. And what is the field size, line breakup. Okay. Is it required column? Okay. Do we need to hidden this column? Okay. Show as a hyperlink. Okay. When we click that, like it navigates to other section. Okay. And sibling reference, like if we have any lookups here, it automatically display over here sibling reference, right? Eh? Right now we haven't configured any child, so I will configure those things also. Dependent lookups, we haven't configured anything. Default values, so what would be the default value? We can add admin role, the selected roles, default value, something. So for this role, like we for this column, default value will be displayed. Okay, if we don't insert the value, default it takes the Rohit as. Okay, click OK. Now the front end for this exclusive for this column, we have defined these things. Okay, and here we can go to the match settings. The match properties are not match settings. So if we have match rules configured, we can use match. Mm, See, all these configurations we do, okay, based upon the configurations which we do at the hub level. Okay, party fuzzy match. So select the match columns which we need, so that we can check the match details also from the front end, and search operations for search columns. Which columns we have to use for search. Okay, it's too slow here today. Data security, if you want to apply any field level or row level security masking, those things we can apply over here. Okay, there are no, like we can add data security and those things. Okay, it's taking a lot of time. And going forward, and all the projects migrates from IDD to provisioning. Okay, customer 360, they
Okay.
migrate from IDD to no, like now from 10.4 version onwards, no longer IDD exists. Okay, it's a deprecated.
Okay.
So which are the projects use this IDD, they continue to use, but Informatica will not provide any advanced features or new features to the IDD section. It provides only the support, means if you have any bugs, it resolve those bugs, but it won't add any new features, new concepts, nothing. Okay, soon they are going to like completely wiped out from the uh, tool. Okay,
Okay.
so they are requesting the users to migrate to provisioning tool. And let's click OK. It's taking a lot of time. So task assignment we can do, data masking we can do. Okay, cleanse, if you want to apply any cleanse, we can apply the cleanse operations like cleanse functions which we have created, right? I can use custom cleanse and those things. We can apply over all those things and click OK. Mm, okay. So what is the input? Contact, search type, email ID, replace all occurrences. Mm, we have to provide values for this one. It's not displaying anything. Output fields, you can provide name or like whichever it may be. Click OK. Then this will be these things we have configured. Now what we can do is we have child section is there, right? We have the child section is there for this business entity. Child is the address table, right? We can configure those things also. So here we have configured the parent one, right? Now we can add subject area child. Okay? We can add subject area child. So here the child like address, I'll mention address. Address. Child type. One to many. Match path. We have if we configure match path, then only it will display. Otherwise, it will not display. Okay, definitely we should configure the match path component. Okay, and okay. So subtype column which we have to select, can select state subtype value. We can see only the values of C this particular only. How many columns section we have to see, like 1, 2, 3, like that. So if we can use all columns and change the column selection. So we can use all these columns except row ID. No need of using row ID. Click OK. All these columns and so whichever the operations we can apply like cleanse functions and click OK. Okay. So now we have created the subject area group, subject area, and child subject area. The address till here. Okay. Even we can add one grandchild. Okay. So in IDD we can go for depth up to 3 level till grandchild only, 3 or 4 levels. But whereas if you go for provisioning tool, we can go for unlimited level of depth. Okay. If there are grandchilds are there, we can go for that. Whereas in IDD there is a limitation is there. Okay. And we have configured all these things, right? And here we have session timeout is there. We can use 20 minutes, means till 20 minutes it will not get timed out. Okay. We'll save this. Once we save this and we have to validate. Okay. So we have saved this and we have to validate. So if there are no errors, then we'll get the green tick symbol. So suppose like in the projects like we are using IDD right now, Informatica is requesting us to migrate to the provisioning tool. So at that time, like no need of going and doing all the changes manually. Here if you click generate business entity schema, so that here it generates the business entities based upon the configurations what we have done, and we can use that business entity at the provisioning tool level. Okay, it displays automatically.
Okay.
Okay, so whenever we want to migrate this IDD subject areas to the provisioning tool, at that time we will click generate business entity schema. Okay,
Okay. Provisioning tool is in Entity 360, correct?
provisioning tool is nothing but the tool is completely different. Okay, for UI configuration is nothing but entity 360. Entity 360 is a UI. Okay,
Okay.
provisioning tool is configurations is a tool which used for configurations with support for UI. Okay. So how to display the objects in UI? For those things we define at the provisioning tool level. IDD is a data governance tool. Here we are configuring the objects, right? Once
Yeah.
we configure this in entity 360, we see those records. Okay.
Okay.
So same as like IDD, provisioning tool is there. It's an advanced tool compared to IDD. So we configure the business entities in the provisioning tool. Okay, business entities in the provisioning tool, and then once we configure the business entities, we have customer 360 is there, or product 360 is there, supplier 360 is there. For customer informations, we use customer 360 application. Okay, that's an again it's an a license. Okay, so whichever the things we configure in provisioning tool that can be displayed over customer 360. Customer 360 is an a user interface. Provisioning tool is an a data governance tool, means a web application tool where we configure the objects required for customer 360. Okay, how we are configuring over here, same thing. So click validate. It checks the validation. So there are so many errors are there. Okay, entity type lead is not associated with any subject area. All entity types must be associated. Okay, the business entity complete does not actually reflect the information data information account org. Okay, and entity type. So we have configured the hierarchies, right? Means we have used hierarchies over here, right? So let's see. I don't want to use hierarchies. Okay, save it. Now the errors will get reduced. We have used hierarchy configuration, but we haven't configured those things at the IDD level. That's why it is throwing an error. Okay. So state management must be enabled for child address section. It is asking, we can enable that child, because here we can add and delete the relationships, right? So for that purpose, it is asking. We'll enable this state management, and that error will wiped out. Okay. Now again we'll validate. Only one error it will display. Okay, that's an ignorable. Still we have configured right. State management must be enabled for child address. Okay, we have while configured, like nothing will happen. Sometimes it displays. Still it is showing can no need of worry. Yeah. We'll go to these applications. Okay, select this party MUI, and we have to deploy this one. So how can we deploy this one? Here, go to this. That errors are ignorable. Okay.
Mm.
Full deployment. If we go to full deployment, okay. So here we'll get the green tick mark. Even we can go for this one also, full deployment. Okay, redeploy that and go for redeploy this one. Okay, this one operation reference store is in invalid state. That's why It is cross symbol is there. Okay, here it is showing. That belongs to the CMX ORS. Okay, that's why it. So here the ORS should be in valid state and the IDD should be valid state. Then we'll provide this URL. Okay, this URL to the data stewards. Copy this. If you click this one, we don't have license. That's why it is not displaying. We don't have license for entity 360. This is a user interface. We have configured over here, right? So all those columns and everything will be displayed over here. So when we log in this one, so particular users like, so for this specific one, we'll create assign the users at the hub level. Okay, and that user will get access. He can able to see that particular subject areas. We'll provide this URL. So at the front end level, they'll log in and they see the data. So if we Google it, like I can show you the entity in 360 images. Yeah.
In the course content, it is mentioned that entity 360 is uh, like included actually. I thought we'll be getting
Um,
to know the UI as well.
for UA, like there is no license. Like might be they like whatever the explanation I do right for that. Like
Mhm.
they mention like that. Okay.
Okay.
So again, that's an advanced concept. Like whatever I have told you, right? That's just not it. This is not like 5 minutes or a half an hour topic. Okay, there are a lot of things are there to configure. Okay, the provisioning tool, it's a huge concept. Okay, all those things we will do based upon the hub console configurations. Okay, so here if you see here the data. Okay, so like this you can see the data here.
Okay.
Here they can edit, they can insert, they can do the full like they can insert 100 records, 1,000 records, those things. File import configurations we do, so many are there. Okay, um again it's an like at least 15 to 20 hours topic, this
Okay.
IDD or provisioning tool.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of things are there: configuration of business entities and hierarchies, network relationships. Yeah, lookup reference tables, configurations. All those things will be there. And the permissions, roles, and permissions assigning. Like how can we delete, soft delete the records, hard delete the records through this user interface. The different concepts are there. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, this is the full course content which we have delivered, and you said that you have some questions to ask, like.
Yeah. I've pinged in the chat. I had made a list actually.
Okay, so average frame of entire project from required gathering to go live. Again, it depends upon the business requirement, so we cannot say average time requirement. Moreover, we are following the agile methodology, right? So what we do, like, we uh, deliver the code in chunks. Okay, so like full steady state, it will go like it takes at least a year. I can say average time frame. And the approaches towards project from the beginning phase, right? So first, in the initial sessions, I have delivered the some concepts, right? Like what is the pain point, like why we go for MDM solution.
Hmm.
So first we have to identify that, like that will be taken care our sales team and the business managing team. Okay, and then once they bid the project and they go for like how many days it will take. Okay, or else like the clients will specify that we need this content within this specific time. Okay, so for that, once we get that statement of works, then what will show, like for some of the, they say that like we have this much data and this many tables are there which we have to configure. So for that, like suppose we have to configure 5 tables and we have to configure the match result set, and then we have to configure the trust. Okay, so that like on high level view, at least it will take 2 months. Okay, and once we create the match and merge rules, we have to go for trial and error, like how the match results are looking. So is it satisfying our business requirements or not? So we collaborate with the clients and we'll show the sample match results. If they satisfy, then we'll go ahead um, with the designed match rules. Okay, and once, so before designing the match rules, like we have created the tables, right? How can we pull the data from the landing table? So how the data comes to the landing table, that they have to decide, by using any SQL language or else like any ETL tools or any application tool, how the data gets loads into the landing tables. Okay, and even they need any real-time configurations, like through APIs, like they can insert the data, those things. Okay, um, once we configure the tables from MDM side, those landing tables will be used by any external ETL team to load the data. And once they load the data into the landing tables, we will configure the mappings to load the data into stage tables. Okay, simply we don't configure the stage, like for that we need cleanse functions are there. Okay, once we configure the mappings, there are a couple of how we have to configure the lookups. Okay, there's so many reference lookups are there. So for lookup tables also we have to insert the data, and where we have to use the lookup tables, those things. Okay, once we configure these lookups and the base objects, okay, then we will go for match and match. Once we go for match and match, and they can go for trust configuration, validation rules. Okay, once this validation rules completed, we may get the data is not matched as per the expectation. Then we'll go for the analysis, why it has not matched as per expectation. Okay, what is the configurations which we missed, or is from the source side we are getting that data glitches. Okay, and once we analyze that, and then we'll look into our MDM code, that okay, the match rules which we have configured, that is satisfying. Okay, or else even though records should not be consolidated, still the records are consolidated. So I want the match rules only for specific set of combinations. So only specific set of records should participate in match process, other records should not participate in match process. So if other records should not participate in match process, their consolidation indicator should not get changed to 4. So for that, like how can we go for match rules? So we can go for this specific SQL filtering concept. Okay, then if you go for that SQL filtering concept, it is delivering the match result set as per our expectation or not. Okay, there are some instances are there, so we have to implement the match rules. Like suppose like we are getting the data, okay, from source. There is a need to implement the match rules, that we have to look for tax numbers, ticket numbers, SSN numbers, and the name, contact, email ID, and those things. Okay, so suppose these tax and ticket numbers are from child records, child tables. Still, based upon the child data, we have to match in the parent table. So suppose some of the records we get tax numbers, but some of the records we don't get tax numbers. So we may assign some dummy tax numbers, but those records may those records should not participate in match and merge process, because dummy tax numbers means like some false tax numbers should not participate in match and merge rules, right? If you configure match rules on some tax numbers, so suppose I have configured match rules on tax numbers, but there are some instances are that for specific state or specific country records, we have dummy tax numbers. So I should restrict those records which are having the dummy tax number. For that, I'll go for SQL filtering. Okay. And then I'll go for match and match process. Now the records which are having dummy tax number, they have valid SSN numbers. So those records should participate for match process on SSN number configuration. Again, we have to release those records. How can we release those records? So that we can write one more match rule set. This time we'll go for matching only specific SSN numbers, so that like it should satisfy our match like business requirements of match result sets. Then we'll show those result set to the business team like product owners. Okay, if they satisfy, then we'll migrate those changes to the production environment. Okay, those things we will do. And all these things I'm telling to you the hub level part only. Okay, not the provisioning tool. So okay, so now like we are loading the data in like parents and child records, right? So we configure the parent PK source object at the child table section, right? With the parent record loads into the like if parent record loads, then only the child table gets loads. So at that time we configure the primary key source object of parent, okay, in the child table section. So it always makes lookup with the parent table PK source of PK sorts and the child table. In the child table column, we have party FK. There it checks the source key. If it get matched, then only the record loads into the child table section. Suppose now we are not getting the source key values directly, we are getting the row ID objects in the child party FK section. At the time, what we have to do? So then what we will do, we will create one more stage table for that requirement. There we configure instead of PK source object of parent will configure the row ID object of the parent, so that we it makes directly look up with the base object table and the records gets inserted. So there are different approaches are there. Okay. And like there are some requirements are there. Some records should not participate in the match process. For that, like we'll go for custom code, like we'll hold the records, okay, before participating in match process. Okay. So for that, we'll use user exit code. So we have to like, okay, and we get the request like we have to soft delete some of the lookup records. So at that time, we'll use some APIs to delete the soft records, or else we'll get the business requirement that through the batch process we have to soft delete some of the parent records. At that time, what we will do, we will make hub state indicator as putable column, and then we'll create one more mapping for that one. So this time we will assign hub state indicator from like we'll create hub state indicator column at the landing table level, and then we assign that hub state indicator to the stage table for that I'll show you. Okay. Here I'll show you the mappings. So suppose if you take any of our so here I'll create hub state indicator and I'll connect to this column, so that like here we are forcing Informatica to take the value from user. Actually, hub state indicator is the default, Informatica will take care of. If we go to the table level, if you see the hub state indicator system column,
Column.
so hub state indicator will, yeah, see here it is not nullable. Okay, and we have default value 1. See, it always assign 1. So to make like to now we have to force the Informatica to assign the user defined value. Then we'll make it as a putable column, and then we'll save this. Okay, once we save this, and in the mappings we'll make changes. So for that, like suppose at the ETL level we have identified the soft deleted record. Now here we'll create one column and we assign that column to this, like he'll connect port to the substate indicator. Now what will happen? Uh, the records will get soft deleted. from the batch process. So to get that functionality, one thing we have to do, we have to make this upstate indicator as a puttable column, and we have to enable the state management. Then only we can do soft deletion through batch process or API, anything.
Okay.
Okay, this type of requirements we may get. So these are the responsible, like daily tasks which we perform, and the challenges faced I have covered, right? So like in the real time, like some of the records are merging, and like matching happen and records are merging, like how can we restrict? So again, we'll redefine the match rules. Okay, those things. Number of resources on the team, like 2 or 3 max we can see. Okay,
Okay.
and approximate development duration of the project. Approximate development duration, both are only like, it depends upon the, like now we are following agile methodology, right? So every week, like every task should complete with either it should be in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Okay, the
Okay.
task which are assigned to us. So they, even the task also will be task duration also will be designed in such a way it should be delivered within that stipulated period of time. So now all the projects are following the agile methodology. Agile methodology, like there we have sprints methods are there. Like every task should get completed either in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, depends upon the client. In
Okay.
my project, like we go for 2 weeks every sprint, so I have to deliver the code within the 2 weeks. Okay, and average input records like 10K. This is totally different. So it depends upon the customers. Like suppose in my project, like we have 5 millions of customers are there. Okay, for that 5 millions of customers, any changes we get, or else like any new customers we get, it could be like in a day 300 to 1000 records it will change. Okay, 300 to 1000 records. Okay, and stakeholders like Java team for user yeah, 2 or 3 members, like not only for user exit, for API interface, those things, like we should have Java team. So for real-time integration. Okay, on the fly, if you want to insert the data, so we need some API calls. So business team directly insert the data like that. So we need the Java team, like at least we can say like 1 or 2 members we need. Okay, so preparation auto-sys like this is nothing, like operation teams will take care of this. Will deliver the code, and will create the batch group, and will provide that batch group name to the operations team or production support team. So they will take care of the scheduling.
Okay. So apart from Java team and operations team, we interact with client only, or is
Yes,
there any
yes, yes.
other team?
No, no, no. Client only. Like
Is
we have
DBA?
downstreams or upstreams are there, right?
Okay. Do we
Upstreams
need
are it
DBA?
DBA. Again, it's like DBA. I cannot comment on this because the clients are whichever the project team they have budget, they go for DBA if we need.
Okay. So in your project, you don't use DBA.
We have shared resources, so
Okay.
there are no dedicated DBAs are there.
Okay.
So mine is a like hosted environment. Okay, Informatica will take care of all the infrastructure components. Just we have to develop the code and migrate to the production.
Okay.
So we have to take care of data part. The infrastructure part, Informatica will take care. Like that, different approaches are there. If like mine is in a cloud-based environment, so there are on-premise environments are there. You can say like we are following on-premise only. So then you can say that we don't have the admins, or else like simply if you are if you want to avoid the specific admin level questions at that time, you can say that we have admin is there, so they will take care of those things. So simply you will help admin in migrating of the code. Okay.
Okay. And
These are the things.
how on premises or and cloud is different, like in terms of
uh,
functionality and operation?
in terms of functionality and operations, like there will not be much difference. uh, cloud based, again I'm saying that. So we have a AWS environment. Our tool host in that AWS environment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the functionality will be same, nothing will be different. Nothing will be different.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
And there for log file analysis, I
Yeah.
come across a list. I just want to make sure that we have covered this because this is a bit tricky part. We don't find much material on internet, so we have covered log files. I don't think we have covered console logs.
Console
And
logs, there is nothing with that console logs. Okay. Console log is like just this user interface log only it will display. Console log is nothing but, let's go into the users, user IT, and I have Siberian. Okay, this is the console log. Here you won't see anything, like this is about the user interface log only. If you face any error at the first level, that log will be like, most of the times you won't see anything over here. This is the
okay,
log, that's it. This is the console log. Okay.
okay,
W- During the login, if you face any error, those information will be displayed over here. That's it. And regarding the enterprise log, those are not there. Yeah, I can say like hub server log we have already shown you. Cleanse server log we have already I have shown you. And
okay,
application server log. Application server log is nothing but JBoss server log. I went to this and I went to this, right? Info MDM hub. If it is cleanse server log, we can see the cleanse server in this part. Logs I have shown you, right? Here in the
yeah,
cleanse server log, we can see match and match properties details, the data load details, those things. Okay. In
okay,
the hub server log, hub server logs, here we'll see the environmental level, like during the match process, if you can encounter any errors or else like user exit code, uh, logging, all those things we can see over here.
okay,
Okay. And just remember that cleanse log, we can see the uh, match and match property logging. Okay.
okay,
And we have one more log is there. This is JBoss application server log, standalone log. So this server log, here we can see the environment wide log, like are you facing any Java errors or it's like custom API calls errors, those things we can see over here. And we can see this publishing details, like suppose if you want like the how the data is publishing to downstream, like when we configure the real-time approach, those things, those type of loggings we can see over here, the timeout errors.
okay.
And these are the logs only generally we do. And ORS database tabs, I'm not getting what is this ORS database tabs.
I don't know. I just copied it from the content Mind Magic have provided.
Oh, okay, okay. Like these things I have already shown you, right? Enterprise manager. These are the things you then. Version history, like I told you, right?
Okay, okay,
This workflow manager, like how many workflow engines are there, like BPM tools are there if you configure the backend. And the database tabs, I have shown you, right? How many, like at the very first initial sessions, I'll show all these things because you should get some overview, right? What is the database, like how many we are getting, those things. And even I have shown you this process server, all these things I have shown you, those things I think.
okay,
um, these are the like, environment report tab. Here we have this enterprise manager environment report tab, like all the environment details.
okay,
These are not comes under any development part. I have shown you, like okay,
okay, okay. Yeah,
doesn't have any value. Okay. Simply like they might have mentioned that uh, uh, to make that course content as a like a more elaborated one. So on that side, like they might have mentioned like that.
Okay.
These
Uh,
things are like more infrastructure team or admin team will take care of these things. Okay, this Java configuration and those things.
right. In matching rules, actually, I had one problem. Match rules using primary key match. I think
Okay.
maybe I
Uh,
didn't catch that.
Primary key match, don't go for that. Okay, like we never come across those match rules because that's very not tricky. I can say like we'll face the issues. So if
Okay.
we have any primary keys, then only we'll go for primary keys matching. So at the stage table, like so source primary keys from the source table match. So use primary key match and wish to automatically merge records from multiple source systems where the source primary keys from the source table match. So here the stage tables are there, right?
Mhm.
So here we are mentioning the previous source system keys, right? These are the primary keys. Okay.
Okay.
So most of the times we may encounter the some primary key issues. We should maintain unique, right? So at the time then only like we face all these issues in any of the project, like we won't encounter these things. Okay, these match rules, like simply we can say that like we haven't implemented this.
Okay.
Okay. And match key distribution is like how the keys are distributed, like tokenization we followed, right? How the keys are distributed, like with p how many tokens are there. Okay, with you how many tokens are there, those distribution. And med settings I have explained you, right? This unmet child and immutable row id object distinct source system, where the consolidation indicator will be one for immutable row id object. For distinct source system, consolidation indicator is still four, but within the same source system records will not participate in match process. I have explained you, right?
Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah.
So, like I have covered all these things, okay,
Yeah.
except this, because even way I haven't followed this, so that I cannot deliver you wrong information, right, on this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Should be fine. I thought I missed that in the video, so that's the reason I.
Okay, so we don't configure these things because we don't know, right, how the unique values we get from the source systems. So it may
Yeah.
leads to duplication or unnecessary errors. So we'll always try to avoid this primary key match rules.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like under the match rule set maximum I have covered you. So I have taken you till the child table level configurations.
Yeah. I even practiced this one.
Okay, even I have explained you the subtype and those things also.
Yeah.
Okay, so here I think there is a tool glitch is there. Whenever we go for segment matching, it is getting true as a value. Actually it should not get. There is a tool bug is there. That's why I explained you theoretically by mentioning that Excel
Yes.
sheet.
Yes. Yes.
Okay? There is a tool bug is there, so I stopped delivering the classes on those segment matching. Otherwise, like I should have delivered.
Mhm.
Like this is not paid one, right? Moreover, we are using 2017 license, so we cannot contact Informatica on this one.
Yeah. I understood.
So that's the main like limitation for segment matching. Otherwise, like for learning purpose, like it will be the best. Okay? I cannot say like if like pro level or for those things, this tool will not sufficient. We should
Yeah.
have knowledge on provisioning till those things. Okay. For 3 or 4 years levels of experience, like whatever the sessions I have delivered you, that would be enough to gain the knowledge, technical knowledge. If you want
Right.
to get the scenario based knowledge, you have to go for practicing. You have to Google. Okay, you will get so many we'll have so many forums or articles, KB articles. So
Okay.
people might have posted the questions. So go and Google that, and you will get the scenario based, because I cannot cover all the scenarios, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So like depends upon like for some of the people I have covered so that SQL filtering part. Okay, I think I have SQL filtering here. So match rule sets. Yeah, here I tell you right. It will not allow the records having names with four.
Yeah.
Uh, so which are the records having name Rohit? It will not participate.
Yeah.
Other will be allowed.
Okay.
Okay. Here, once the match process completes, the consolidation indicator for Rohit record still will be four only.
Four. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. How do you suggest I should prepare for the interview?
Now what you have to do is you have to go for reverse engineering. Like I have given you the technical expertise, right?
Yes.
So, do you have the interview questions?
No, I have not received them yet.
Today I will post. Okay, post the call. I'll give you the material and the interview questions. Okay, first and
And even the
foremost thing,
CV. Yeah.
CV, yeah, CV also I will provide. Okay, don't worry. I'll provide the CV interview questions and the basic material. Okay, and what you have to do is like start attending the interviews. Okay,
Okay.
mention as immediate journey, like 30 days of journey.
Okay.
Attend each and every interview.
Okay.
Note down the interview questions. Okay,
Okay.
note down the interview questions and post interview, like go and Google those questions. You will get some information. Okay, and mean like you get that information, right? Go and practice based on the tool. Okay,
Okay.
and in even in the interviews also, if you like sure it will be sure like you won't answer for some of the questions. Ask them
Right.
can you tell me like how can I deliver that? Like you can say like what would be the solution for that one.
Okay.
Nothing, right? Nothing will happen. Like some people may tell that, so you have said this thing as a wrong, so you have to say in this way. So at that time they will give you some information, right? That will be very helpful to us.
Okay.
Okay, so how I followed is 3 years back. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
even like I didn't take any lessons. Okay, I googled. I have some stock videos were there. So at that time I searched YouTube and googled. Okay, all those things I learned, but
Okay.
I learned very few concepts only. I started attending the interviews, and fortunately I have uh, access, like MDM database access. Okay,
Okay.
so I know how the records will survive. I don't know how to process the data, how to implement the match rules. Nothing I don't know. Okay,
Okay.
but I started attending the interviews. So I failed so many interviews. After 6 7 interviews, I started clearing first level of round. Okay,
Okay.
and wherever I fail, like I note down each and every interview question. Okay, and I'll Google that. Okay, even if I satisfy with that, doesn't satisfy with that one, like I will I'll check with my peers or like friends, or it's like in the forums I post the questions. Like I like those things, like in LinkedIn or Facebook we have Informatica groups are there, right?
Yes.
So like I'll request in that one, those things, like, or else like I simply every time I'll always check the articles. Okay, even now also, like if you see now also, like I'll just start looking into this. Like
Mm-hmm.
every time we'll get some new information. So if we are good at theoretical subject level knowledge, even though if you are lag at the scenario based, so based upon the technical knowledge which we attain, we can deliver the scenario based questions also. Might be we cannot deliver the exact level, but even if it goes wrong, like if interviewers are accept satisfied with your technical content, then they will take you into the organization. And don't shy or don't get afraid of asking the solutions. Like you have said some solution, but interviewers will not satisfy with that one. Just after the interview, ask them like what would be the solution.
Okay.
Then this just convince them like so it will be helpful for my further rounds or further interviews.
Okay.
Okay. So whatever the question they ask to you, don't give any some false information or else like some bullshit answer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You always try to like showcase that like you have some passion, you have some interest, even though whatever the thing you are saying wrong technically, but
Mm-hmm.
they should get that idea that like this guy is showing interest to learn the concepts.
Okay.
So we have to showcase those things. Okay.
Okay.
So might be they will tricky you, they will twist you. Okay, they will ask some bullshit questions on you. Okay,
Okay.
we should not give some false answers or bullshit questions answers. Okay, we always like show that like you have passion or interest towards MDM. Okay,
Okay.
so and Google the IDD concepts. Okay, and the provisioning tool concepts. How can we create the business entities? Okay, business entity views, what are the transformations, business entity view to business entity, what we do. Those are advanced concepts. Just deliver that like I know the basics, but I didn't get the opportunity to work on this because in your project we are not using these advanced concepts. Still we are using only the basic hub console only.
Okay.
Okay? You have to convince them like that. Definitely they will take you if you have ETL knowledge and this MDM knowledge. Okay. Okay, na? Don't put a lot of experience in MDM. Okay? Put just 3 plus 3.3, that would be suffice, and
Okay.
ETL knowledge of 2 years, 2 or 3.
development knowledge or testing knowledge?
ETL, if you're comfortable with ETL development, go and mention that like I have 2 years or 1.5 year of ETL development knowledge. You can understand it. What is the SCD? How can we load the data?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Data warehousing concepts.
Yeah.
How much you feel comfortable, that much level expertise, mention that. Okay? I think like you have hardly like IT experience of 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, when you joined IT like software, when you came to software field.
Software field. It's 2010.
Okay, 2010. Okay, then it will be like 12 years, right? So
Yeah.
mentioned like again it depends upon like mention 3.5 years as MDM, and rest of the concept like whichever you feel comfort.
Yeah. I'm
You,
thinking to project it as a ETL tester turned MDM developer. Will that work?
yeah, that will work. That will work.
Okay.
That will work.
Because I have good, I would say I have good knowledge of ETL testing. So
Okay,
maybe based on that,
then
they can uh, at least give me an opportunity to have an interview.
yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
Okay, then it will be also okay. Good, good. Any combination would be suffice
Okay.
because even you will get chance in MDM testing also. Slowly you can move into the MDM development part.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That could be an option.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Please share me that CV
Yeah,
and
right
training
now I'll share
material.
you. Okay, right now
And
I'll share you.
yeah.
You will receive in 5 or 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'm thinking
Thank
to start uploading and attending the interview from Monday
you. Yeah.
itself.
Okay, okay, okay. Right now, like soon you will receive the okay email.
Sure. Sure. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.